So, hey guys, it's your boy Dark Raku here with What if Issei was a darkness user and became a stray? Sorry about that. I am still sick, and yes, I am uploading this video at the same day. That I did upload what's it called? What if Issei was trained by Shanks? But yeah, if you haven't seen it, then yeah, you can go see it. But this is part 3. I mean, not part 3, part 4 of this what if. So yeah, let me begin into this what if. But yeah, I also want to do what's it called? What if Issei made a Pirate Legacy part 2 for that? But I don't know if I'm gonna make it today or not. But yeah. But before I go on, I'm thinking when I hit what's it called 400 subscribers, because I'm pretty close to getting 400 subscribers, I'm going to do the special and make sure it's a fucking movie, one shot or whatever. And yeah. But other than that, I'm thinking of doing the special, I'm thinking of just going into my first channel and actually uploading videos. Because yeah, that and I just really want to finish a bunch of stuff, and so I can actually have more storage so I can play video games. I should really play this Nintendo Switch. Never mind. I'm rambling on. Also, if you heard me drinking, yeah, I was just drinking something. Man, wait. But of course, let me begin this. What if? Let me shut the fuck up. And no recaps because it hasn't been 1 month. So yeah, I also have to do the 1 month videos that I really haven't uploaded. But yeah. But let me begin this what if, and let me shut the fuck up. Now, I don't feel that sick, but my voice might kind of crack and fuck up throughout this video, so I'm just fair warning. But yeah. So let me begin this what if, let me shut the fuck up, and yada yada yada. Let's go. So we begin into Issei. Issei is still in the dark dimension, mostly in this dark kingdom. And of course, this is where, well, when he woke up, he felt four Valunchwins kind of large breasts kind of onto his arm. This is where, well, in each of his arms, mostly 2, but yeah. This is where, when he kind of looks around, he kind of notices Junko and another Rainer kind of grabbing each of his arms. He sighs, and this is where, well, he turned into darkness, literally melted to darkness, and then appear in front of his bed. But yeah, this is where, well, he kind of was about to start leaving until both, well, Rainer and Junko kind of woke up. Of course, they were still tired, but of course he says, no, don't go. This is where, well, Issei chuckles at them and just says, oh, well, I have to go. My plans are still needed, so see ya. This is where, well, Issei starts walking away, and this is where, well, they're too tired to actually, well, bother to actually stop him. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei chuckles and starts just walking away. Now, this is where, well, someone appeared right in front of him. It's none other than Shinkai. Shinkai says, are you going back to the human world? This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, why, of course, yeah. I'll be going towards, what should I actually try to retrieve? Shinkai says, vampire? This is where, well, Issei says, vampires. They're actually pretty useful. But fighting against fallen angels, them against light, well, they won't be affected that much. It's not sunlight. I guess you're right. Well, I'll be going to the vampires. Do you want me to come along? No, you're pretty much good at the sea. So anytime I will go out, maybe to sea and just find some random sea creature, I'll let you know. This is where Shinkai nodded, but yeah. So yeah, I got a cough drop, so let me continue on this whatever. Yeah, what if, and yeah, sorry. But of course, it worked well. Shinkai nodded, and of course, it worked well. Issei disappeared by making a darkness rift magic circle, or mostly, yeah, magic circle rift. And of course, he disappears into nothing but darkness. Mostly just darkness particles. But yeah, Shinkai sighs, and he really wants to go with Issei because he does really see Issei as an older brother. But it looks like Issei usually loves to do everything by himself. He does it solo most of the time, but yeah. But of course, well, we go into Issei kind of going into Eastern Europe. If he can remember right, he did read about some books, and other things. And his grimoire does tell him anything about dark creatures, because he does have a black grimoire that's like a fire leaf, and it does tell him about, well, where mostly the vampire shit originally came from, and that being Eastern Europe. So of course he just shows up in this place and starts looking around, trying to sense for any vampires. Maybe he can convince them, maybe he can't. But yeah, this is where, well, he's walking until he heard kind of this yelp. Mostly like someone screaming for kind of help. But, well, not really help, mostly kind of trying to fight back against something. This is where, well, he sighs and just took a left U-turn because, well, he wasn't going to anywhere specific. He just decides to walk to find anything interesting in this place. He does know that the vampires, there's like 3 groups. In this book, it did tell him that there's 3 factions. Mostly there's the rebellion faction, and then there's this other rebellion faction, and there's just whatever. He doesn't care that much, but pretty much they're not pure blood vampires. Well, some of them seems to be, but they're only half breed. But it seems to him that when he keeps reading in the book, it seems that pure blooded vampires are hated a lot. He doesn't really care. Of course, he read about a vampire that was called Dracula and seems to be very powerful. But of course, he died a while ago, but yeah. Which, he doesn't care, but whatever, it seems interesting. So where, well, he goes to where the help is, and what he finds, or mostly it's not even the help, it's a yelp. And of course, this person seems to be attacked by, well, some werewolves. It seems to be a female werewolf fighting against, well, the other kind of werewolves. Now, of course, these other werewolves are kind of like purely black, while the female kind of has this white fur. Of course, bluish eyes, bluish slick eyes. And of course, she's not fully into werewolf transformation, but of course, well, her kind of, well, mostly, she's not wearing that many clothes. But of course, well, her kind of, how should I say, her cleavage is showing off, mostly. Her jugs are showing off. There really doesn't have anything to cover because it seems to be ripped off by the other werewolves. The other werewolves are 2 giant black, well, werewolves. We'll see. They have black fur and crimson red eyes. And they seem to have kind of this lustful grin into their faces. This is where, well, the female werewolf seems to be disgusted and literally trying to claw at them. But she doesn't seem that strong enough to fight against them. Of course, with some of her claws, it seems to be freezing some of the werewolves, the other werewolves. This is where, well, the other werewolves seem to kind of scoff at her and were about to kind of do whatever they needed to. This is where, well, Issei appeared right in front of one of the werewolves. Well, not even one in front of them, mostly kicking one of them in the head, in the side of the head, pushing him to a tree. This is where Issei scoffs and says, "You guys are quite lustful, aren't you? And quite disgusting. Trying to literally are another werewolf. I thought I wasn't gonna meet such disgusting, lonely people. Even if you guys aren't demons, you guys are worse than demons. I don't like anyone trying to really are someone. So, I should kill you." This is where Issei has this very smile, funny look, but it kind of looks like he's gonna kill someone. But yeah. Of course, well, the kind of werewolf rushes at, well, Issei, the other 2, the last 2 of them. The other one kind of got his, like, head literally kind of blown off his, like, shoulders. This is where, well, the other 2 rushes at Issei with this intent to really murder. Issei looks at them and says, "You guys are pathetic. Beru, rip and slice them apart." Beru will pierce his darkness and literally cut them into 2, and then cut them into more pieces. This is where Beru screams out and says, "Yeah!" This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, "Then go back." Beru nodded. This is where, well, Issei started walking up to the female werewolf, and Issei said, "Yo, you okay?" The female werewolf kind of glares at him, thinking that he wants something. Issei said, "Eh? I don't even think she even speaks English or Japanese or whatever they actually use in this place. Whatever. I forgot what Issei actually speaks. Fuck. I'm really having a terrible time. With this sickness and other things, yeah, I don't know. So, whatever language I speak, yeah, you get the point. I just can't really think right now. Wait. But of course, well, Issei is kind of just waving his hands right in front of her. And this is where, well, the female werewolf scoffs and says, "What do you want?" That's where, well, Issei says, "Oh, you can actually talk. I thought you were mute for a second. I was about to start kind of doing the sign language at you." This is where she scoffs even more, seeing that mostly this human that's right in front of her, or whatever he is, because it doesn't really feel to be human that much, seems to just be playing with her. This is where, well, he said, "Oh, if you're thinking I'm playing with you, of course I am. What do you think? I'll be literally trying to ask you out, or even trying to do what those three other idiots tried to do? Yeah, right. I'm not a disgusting person. Or creature, you could say. Whatever. Well, I should be going. Actually, can you put me towards where, what's it called, the vampires are?" This is where she scoffs at Issei. This is what Issei says, right, I forgot. "Vampires and werewolves don't like each other." Yeah, I know. "Just point me at the direction and you can leave, well, I can leave you alone." This is where, well, she scoffs, and this is where, well, Issei says, "Do you really, I guess you really like scoffing. You kind of remind me of that one manga that I read." What was that one manga? Naruto. And that one character named Sasuke. He scoffs a lot. The duck head. The duck, well, mostly duck hair. Duck ass, whatever. This is where, well, she was about to scoff again until she shuts up and says, "Why do you want to go to a vampire? You still don't even seem like a vampire yourself." This is where, well, he says, "Well, that is true. I'm not a vampire. I'm not a werewolf. I'm a human." She scoffs and says, "Human, my ass." "Okay, yes, that's a lie." "Wow, you caught on pretty good." This is where, well, or pretty quick. This is where he snaps his fingers. This is where, well, she looks at him with just this murderous look, like she wanted to literally kill him for just making that comment. But yeah. But of course, it's where, well, she doesn't. Instead, she says, "I'm not going to tell you where they're at. I thought werewolves and vampires don't really like each other. I don't know why you're trying to protect them." She glares back at Issei and says, "Protect them? I'm trying to protect you, idiot." Why? She has a tick mark on her face, like multiple tick marks are appeared. Are you serious? "It's because you protect me and I'm doing you a favor." This is where she covered her mouth and kind of blush and look away. This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, "Yeah, right. Well, thank you for your concern, but I'm already alright on myself. So I should be leaving then." Where will be the vampires? Whatever. See ya. This is where Issei kind of waves, or mostly gives a peace sign behind him. Mostly giving her a peace sign and then just leaving, walking away. This is where, well, she scoffs, and this is where, well, she said, "That idiot's really trying to kill himself. Maybe I should just let him. He's just an idiot." She's being kind of incinerated, and this is where, well, she's walking away to another direction. Until she then thinks about it. Maybe I should stop him from actually killing himself. This is where, well, she decides to follow with him. But yeah, this is where, well, we go to Issei kind of getting towards a giant dark castle. He said, that is quite interesting. Whatever, I'm gonna go explore it then. This is where, well, he felt kind of this strange energy, kind of similar to that of a vampire. Even though he never met vampires, for some reason, his darkness energy can actually tell him about different species. Of course, how he can sense that one werewolf female seems to be one of the strangest werewolf females from, well, or just werewolf in general, because the three werewolves that she was kind of fighting off had the power of just the whole werewolf. She had a different werewolf ability. It was kind of more, kind of icy, but yeah. That's a well, he then thinks about her, thinking that she was an ice werewolf. A rare type of werewolf, but whatever. And assumes that she didn't really know how to control her abilities or any of that. But of course, this is where, well, he starts kind of walking around. And this is where, well, he kind of noticed that the dark castle is fenced off with the dark fence. And of course, he finds the entrance, the mostly gate. And it does have the seal. Powerful seal that seems to try to stop anyone from going into this castle. Which Issei literally just kicked down. He kicked the 2 gates, busted it open. This is where Issei kind of smells the, well, kind of moisture that's inside. Mostly kind of bloody moisture, like a iron kind of smell, but he doesn't really care. This is where, well, he walks in. And of course, this is where, well, he gets to the door, mostly a giant castle door. They're pretty huge. The 2 doors are pretty huge. This is where he sees another seal and seems to be much more powerful. It seems to like try to stop whoever is coming in, to literally just tell them to go away. Which Issei sees this seal and literally just kick it back. Mostly kick the door open. But yeah, this is where, well, every time he kind of gets through a door, usually it has a seal. It's not a seal that should be, for some reason, it's a kind of seal to block whoever is inside, not outside. But yeah. But of course, well, Issei just kicks the door and just starts walking through. Now, of course, someone is literally following Issei, trying to stop him from doing anything stupid. Now, of course, she never actually saw the Dark Castle, and she knows that she's in the vampire territory. But of course, she doesn't care. This is where just trying to stop Issei from doing anything so stupid. Or mostly, she doesn't know the boy, but she can see that the boy seems to be quite dumb half the time. Or, in her opinion, but she doesn't really know about his serious side. But yeah. That's where, well, Issei literally kind of just busts through so many doors. And of course, where, well, Beru says, so what do we do with that werewolf? She keeps following us. This is where, well, he kind of whispered that into Issei's ear. Issei said, let her. I don't really care. She doesn't have any intent to literally try to kill me, so I don't really mind. Better not. This is where, well, Issei is right now walking down some stairs. It kind of, mostly the stairs kind of like, it's a spiral stairs, or yeah. So of course he's going down. And then when he gets all the way down, he sees a giant gate with seals. Multiple seals. So many seals that literally it blocks the outside and inside. But yeah, this is where Issei say, quite interesting. I wonder. This is where Issei starts walking to the gate. And this is where Issei doesn't know what to do. Until mostly he smiles and his hand literally just transforms into a giant black claw. Mostly showing that of like Meliodas' claws. This is where Issei grins. And this is where before he was about to like attack the gate. This is where, well, he was kind of tackled down to say, stop! What are you doing? This is where the female werewolf kind of appears, stopping him right now. Issei said, what the heck? I wasn't expecting you to do anything. This is where, well, she was kind of shocked to believe that Issei already knew that she was there. But then this is where she shaked the thought. This is where, well, she said, what are you doing? This could be something valuable for the vampires, and you're literally going to attack it, and you're probably going to make them attack you. This is where, well, Issei said, didn't know a werewolf can be so sensitive and actually be sensitive towards a human actually doing stupid things. Didn't know the werewolf actually even cares about the human. She scoffs so much, but this is where, well, she is acting stupidity, and this is where, well, she says, it's not like I care, I'm just worried about my savior. This is where, well, Issei grins because he was let go pretty easily, and this is where Issei says, well, you don't really need to know about your savior's power. This is where Issei uses his claw to smash through the gate. This is where the gates, literally the 2 doors just flies off its hinges. This is where she widened her eyes. Now, of course, she noticed that was such a powerful seal. It would have probably destroyed anyone who is a normal human, because those seals seem to have also reflection seals that was supposed to, whatever attack hits it, it should have just sent back. That's why she tried to stop Issei. This is where, well, Issei just walks through and say, this is where his hand goes back to normal into his regular hand. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei kind of whistles. Now I can't really whistle because I am sick, but not the point. He's kind of just whistling and saying, wow, this place is actually quite beautiful. The lights are right now kind of shining upon. Mostly they're kind of just, what's it called? They're chandeliers. But of course, they're not like light bulbs. They're actually turning like fire. But yeah, and they're like blue flames kind of lighting up. So yeah, this is where Issei says, wow, this place is quite beautiful. This is where he noticed a giant coffin in the middle. It isn't that big, but The coffin is kind of silverish color. Well, not silverish, but kind of gold a little bit, but black. But yeah. That's where, well, what's it called? Not, wait. Mostly it was kind of silverish color, but not gold. Mostly silverish, but yeah. This is where, well, he's surprised to even see a silver coffin. This is where he remembers all vampires doesn't really like silver. But of course, he walks up to the coffin. Now, of course, the werewolf literally tries to stop him until Issei just right now makes a dark magic circle to actually stop her. This is where, well, Issei says, I'm doing this for your protection, so I need you to stop trying to get in my way. This is where Issei sees the coffin, kind of looks at some of the seals that are right now upon it. It seems there's explosion seals or whatever to prevent anyone to open this. This is where Issei touches the seals and right now obliterate them. Right now using darkness magic pretty easily. With darkness flames. This is where, well, he then sees it's now openable. And this is where he just opens the coffin. And what he sees inside is nothing. Because the thing that right now flashes upon, well, off the, what's it called? Coffin is already on top of, well, mostly the sky. This is where, well, the thing that just appeared has two bat-like wings. This is where, well, crimson red eyes and of course black clothing. Mostly a black dress. This is where, well, the thing has two sharp teeth right now showing from, mostly from her mouth. And it is a she because, well, you can tell because of a lot of things. Don't worry about that. But of course, Issei already noticed her, but of course, he's just acting kind of stupid. They're just looking at the coffin, saying, huh, there was nothing inside it. Maybe they're lying about any of that shit. This is where, oh, but this is where when Issei kind of did glance at the person who's on top, he did kind of surprised looking at, well, the vampire that was on top. She is a female, but she had long silverish hair, which is surprising because he'd never seen any vampire, which he never has met any other type of vampire. But the most interesting thing that not many vampires do have silver hair. Wouldn't they be just white? But whatever, he doesn't care. Just where, well, he sees the vampire does also have palish skin, but yeah. This is where, well, she does also have pointy ears, but yeah, similar to that like an elf, but much more pointy to be a vampire. This is where, oh, Issei does look up and says, oh, vampire, there you are. This is where, well, the vampire seems to be around his age. Now, of course, the werewolf seems to also be around his age, but he doesn't really care. This is where, well, he then says, oh, so you're here. Hello there. The vampire rushes at him, trying to right now kill him or eat him. Whichever it is. But of course, Issei literally dodged her spot. This is where, well, mostly not dodge her spot, mostly he didn't use a magic circle to literally teleport from her attack. This is where, well, she scoffs and sneers and says, why don't you come over here, human? Let me taste a little bit of your blood. Let me taste your rich, delicious blood. She seems to be really hungry. This is where, well, Issei said, really? So you want to drink my blood? If I let you drink my blood, would it let me kind of, well, will you become mine? This is where Issei kind of teased a little bit. And of course, showing a little bit of his kind of teasing side. This is where, well, the vampire, even the werewolf, kind of blush. Right now, realizing what he's trying to do. The vampire scoff. The werewolf right now looks away, thinking some kind of thoughts on her head. This is where, well, the vampire just sneers and says, screw that, I just want to eat you. This is where, well, Issei dodge again and says, wow, you really suck at trying to catch me. Meh. This is where he sticks his tongue out. And this is where, oh, she gets angry, really angry. Check marks up on her face just shows. This is where she says, I'm going to literally kill you. I'm going to dry your blood. All of it. I'm going to suck it all of it from your body. This is where Issei says, are you sure you don't want to suck something else? This is where, well, she blushes in an instant right now, realizing what that means. This is where, well, the werewolf almost also had a blood nose right now in an instant. This is where Issei chuckles and says, well, I shouldn't be teasing too much. Well, you are the person that's trying to kill me, so I should kill you also. This is where, well, Issei says, darkness, Kuro, well, mostly not Kuro Blade. He just says, he kind of calls upon Dark Blade. This is where, well, a blade appears. This dark blade appears, and this is where it has no name just yet. But of course, where, well, it seems to be non-ominous energy, just like zero ominous energy appearing from the sword. similar to that time of when he was fighting against Azel. This is where, well, the only time it ever did have such an ominous energy is when he was either fighting against just mostly Junko. But yeah, it seems to always have this purplish ominous energy. And of course, it did be able to kind of defeat Junko and her two blades. But yeah. But who else did he show? Oh yeah, I think he showed it towards what it called. Oh yeah, he did show it towards what it called the Two Fallen Angels. So yeah. Sorry, I almost forgot about them. This is where, well, mostly Caliber and even Donacy, which they have felt the energy. It was quite powerful. Anyone that was at that bar at that time did felt the energy. It was such ominous. But yeah, it was more ominous to that of mostly Hades. Well, even further than Hades, mostly close to almost like real death or something. This is where, well, Issei kind of has the sword right now, really not activated, and it just seems to be a plain sword. But of course, well, even though the vampire noticed it seems to be a plain sword, she's still kind of cautious. This is where she kind of summons out something. This is where, well, she kind of calls upon the name. So she summons out this blade, this red blade. Of course, crimson red, kind of lightish red blade. Has a golden kind of gar, like this. And of course has a red handle. And of course it's like gold's kind of handle, but yeah. Mostly it's not gold, it's actually silver this color, but yeah. These two things are silver. But of course, it's called Aigergu. Don't worry about it, but yeah. It's where she has her own sword, and this is where, well, she points it at Issei. This is where, well, she says, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to make sure that you're dead. I'm not going to allow you to do any of those stupid shit that you mentioned. Huh? Oh, you still thinking about that? You're quite dirty-minded, aren't you? This is where she blushes in an instant. This is where she gets angry and says, I'm going to literally kill you. This is where, well, a bluish crown started appearing around her head, like this bluish kind of crown. This is where, well, she's already frustrated enough, and this energy started appearing around her, more powerful. We'll see, powerful energy started appearing. But it seems to be kind of a little bit weaker than he actually expected, mostly Issei. Issei sighs and sees this energy. This is where, well, Issei said, I guess I should get serious, shouldn't I? This is where, well, the werewolf seems to be scared. But of course, she didn't really want it to let the, well, human kind of die. So of course, this is where, well, she started trying to use her own power, which she managed to break through the seal. Mostly the seal that was really protecting her. And of course, kind of freeze in an instant. This is where, well, the seal, mostly the magic circle, that turned blue. And this is where, well, she also went into a form. But of course, it seems to be a half version form of actually a true version. And this is where, well, it seems that a crown also appeared on top of her head. But this crown seems to have this ice kind of symbols. Mostly like a snowflake symbol, but yeah. And each of, well, yeah, you get the point to make a crown. This is where, well, she has these bluish, ferocious bluish eyes. This fur that's actually appearing to kind of be like Snow White. Of course, it's not fully into a werewolf. But of course, this is where, well, she growls at the vampire. Which it seems both of their powers seem to be kind of equal towards each other. This is where, well, the werewolf also made two blades of ice. Two kind of these ice blades that are kind of shorter. It seems to be kind of like that of not dagger, but it was similar to a short katana. But yeah, this is where, well, she kind of glares at the vampire, and the vampire glares at her. The vampire didn't expect the werewolf to actually get out of that what's called magic circle. That seems a human made, but whatever. She really didn't care about the vampire. This is where, oh, or not vampire, mostly werewolf, but yeah. But of course, they seem to be growling each other, and it seems their powers are equal to each other, which I notices. This is where Issei sighs and didn't expect him to really get out of trouble. But this is where he kind of got notification from a dark, mostly a dark shoulder, kind of telling him, Sir, it seems that an army of vampires are coming to your towards the location. He got whispered towards his ear. He sighs and says, well, I couldn't really find a rebellious, mostly someone that would love to help me in my conquest, but maybe these two can actually help me. Whatever. Hey, Beru say, yes sir. Go take a problem with, well, mostly, if the, well, vampires decide to come any closer or try to seal this place, kill them. Beru understand. This is where Beru actually appears right next to Issei, and this is where, well, mostly the werewolf noticed the giant ant again, mostly the dark ant that actually slaughtered those two werewolves. And this is where, well, the ant right now has this energy which actually catches the eye of what they call mostly the vampire, which was glaring at the werewolf, until mostly the ant literally disappears in an instant, literally in a flash of darkness. This is where, well, he was gone. His speed was incredible. They both just blink. Right now, widen their eyes. He just says, well, it seems that we're going to have some company, so I should take care of this problem. Both of you are kind of getting out of hand, or mostly out of hand, and making, well, both of your energies spike up. Making that the vampires in this place seem to kind of be coming towards over here. Either out of fear, or out of, well, curiosity. Now, I don't really know what happened in this place, but I don't care. This is where, well, Issei says ignite. This is where his sword literally bursts into this dark, purplish energy. But of course, this black energy also appearing. This is where his sword has now this ominous energy. This is where, well, one of Issei's eyes literally turned black. Mostly the cigarette or whatever. You know, the white in your eye just turned black. Fully black. And one of his eyes, instead of being a brownish color, well, a dark kind of brownish color, turns purple. This is where, well, he says darkness, and well, mostly his hand, I should also mention, decides to become black for a second. And this is where, well, Issei said, then bring it on, you two. This is where, well, his energy literally spiked up from being a normal human, just a human level kind of magic, like a magician or something like that, towards that being of an ultimate demon level. This is where, well, both of them blind their eyes and realize both of their powers, even combined, if they work together to fight against him, wouldn't even be enough. This is where, well, they go up a little bit, and this is where, well, Issei appears right in front of them. This is where, well, Issei was about to easily cut both of them, but of course, this is where when he slashes at both of them, they kind of close their eyes, realizing they're dead in an instant. But something happens. They open their eyes and realize one thing. Well, their magic entirely, mostly their forms that they activated, got nullified in an instant. Pretty much a swing of a sword wasn't there to actually cut them, mostly to nullify their magic, to drop them back down to their original levels, which when they appear. But yeah, this is where, well, they were widening their eyes, and how that's even impossible. But of course, this is where, well, Issei kind of says, okay, well, that was easier than I thought. His sword right now just ignite. And of course, this is where he sheaves his sword back into his dark dimension. But this is where, well, his hand decides to start transforming into this black color and goes back into normal, mostly a normal kind of tannish skin. Well, tannish, palish skin, whatever. But of course, where, well, one of his eyes just transformed back into normal. He then looks back at the two females, which they just have blink, blink, blink. But yeah, they're just blinking their eyes, widening their eyes, and how powerful Issei exactly is. And this is where both of them literally bow down. This is where, well, they say, please don't kill us. This is where, well, Issei sighs and says, I'm not gonna kill you. What should I do with you two? I was literally just here to find someone to help me out in my adventures, I guess. This is where, well, they both hear it. Mostly Issei kind of talking to himself. And this is where, well, they say, we can come along. This is where, well, Issei is surprised to hear that they actually want to come along. Because he did say that out loud, which he didn't really care. But of course, he was surprised that both of them want to actually come along. Issei says, you don't even know me. You don't even know if I want to kind of conquer the world or even destroy a certain faction. Why would you even trust me in an instant? This is where, well, the vampire says, you want to destroy a certain faction? The kind of silverish hair said. That's where, well, the werewolf says, wait, what? You want to conquer the world? Issei chuckles at her kind of word saying conquering the world. Issei says, not really. I don't really want to conquer the world. Pretty much, my goals are kind of that freedom and destroying a certain faction that I really don't like. But yeah, this is where, well, the kind of vampire says, I know this isn't something to kind of request, but would you help me actually destroying a faction that I don't like? The werewolf narrowed her eyes, and this is where, well, towards the vampire. This is where, well, Issei says, and what faction would that be? The vampires. This is where, well, Issei narrowed his eyes quite indifferently, like he wasn't expecting this vampire girl to literally say that her own race should be annihilated. This werewolf, the werewolf was also shocked. She was expecting that the vampire would go after the other werewolves, but yeah, mostly the werewolf faction. But yeah, this werewolf, Issei chuckles and says, "Quite interesting. You also want revenge. Why is that?" Just where, well, she grit her teeth in an instant, showing off her fangs in an angry look, and she says, "Those damn bastards decide to seal me in this world." This where, well, he says, "Quite interesting. I see, so that's why you were still here. And I can see that your power seems to might frighten them. It seems to be an incomplete version. Tell me, what's your name?" That's where, well, the vampire was kind of shocked to believe that this person wants to know her name. That's where she says, "Allison." This is where, well, Allison, quite interesting. Why would they be afraid of you? This is where, well, Allison kind of says, "Well, they're afraid of me, or they hate me mostly, is because I'm a royal blood vampire, a descendant of that of Dracula." This is where, well, Issei widened his eyes. Right now looks stupefied at the vampire. Of course, he wasn't stupefied after royal blood, but of course stupefied that she's actually a descendant of Dracula. This is where she says direct mostly, but this is where, well, he was kind of interesting. This is where, oh, he said, "Well, that's interesting. Well, I can see that you're quite powerful, and you seem to also be a descendant of Dracula. So yeah, I can take your request on if you would join me." This is where, well, she nodded. This is where, well, he said, grins at her, and yeah. This is where, well, he then looks at the werewolf. The werewolf sighs and says, "I don't really have a problem with my werewolf faction. Well, except for those damn alpha bastards that think that they're all cool shot or whatever." This is where, well, she then thinking of all her kind of werewolf faction. This is where, well, she grit her teeth and then says, "You know what, I also want to destroy my faction." This is where, well, both Allison and Issei were kind of shocked to hear her anger, her frustration, but yeah, this is where, well, and how she's willing to literally destroy her own faction. This is where, well, Issei said, "Sure, I can do that." That's where, well, he then asked for her name, and this is where, well, she kind of named, well, Multi, her name. This is where, well, sorry. She says that her name is Celestria. This is where, well, both Issei and even, well, Allison nodded. This is where, well, she kind of just has a little smirk towards both of them. And this is where, well, Issei nodded and says, "Well, that's quite good to know." This is where an explosion happens outside the castle. Both, well, Celestia and even Allison widened their eyes. This is where Issei said, "What the hell is happening out there?" This is where, well, Issei covered up one of his eyes and then looks towards where the location will be, where what's it called better would be at. He widened his eyes and realizing the the vampire seems to be quite angry and trying to rush into the gate. He then realized that they might be trying to literally kill Allison. This is where he sighs, and this is where, well, he tells Allison and Celestia that they seem to be attacked by the vampires. It seems that they're literally trying to kill you, probably because of your awakening. So it's better for us to leave. What about the ant? Don't worry, you two are leaving. I'm staying here. This is where they widen their eyes until a magic circle appears underneath them and say, "Wait, what?" This is where, well, they're teleported an instant, and this is where Issei chuckles and says, "Hey, Darkness Ant." "Yes, sir." "Go towards the darkness dimension and, well, mostly it wasn't a darkness ant. It was actually Icarus. And this is where Icarus says, "I understand, sir. You want me to go towards, well, the others and tell them about, well, mostly the two new members. They're going to be quite pissed at me." "Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it?" This is where Icarus sweat drops at his kind of master's kind of, well, just very relaxed and chill, mostly tone of body, but yeah. And mostly his tone of voice. This is where Icarus nodded and disappeared. This is where, well, Issei says, "Well, it's time to murder this race. It seems that they quite upset one of my new, partner friend, I guess you can say." This is where Drake says, "Or your new kind of part of your new harem females," which I'm not gonna say, they're not that bad. This is where, well, Issei says, "Okay, shut up, Drake. We're not doing this. Stop. This is where Drake says, "What? I'm just trying to help you, Issei. Issei, I know you're not a pervert no more, but goddamn, you know you want them. This is where Issei said, okay, you're quite perverted, and I'm just gonna ignore you. Issei, you can't wait, fuck, you disconnect me. I'm going just back to go to sleep. So, of course, Drake goes back to sleep. Well, Issei goes outside. This is where, Issei say sword. Ignite. This is where his sword ignited. And of course, this is where he sees Beru easily taking down some of the soldiers. And of course, some of the soldiers are literally trying to fight against Beru. But of course, his speed is just unbelievable for them. That's where, well, they say, damn it. Kill him. Damn it. We can't let that damn slut of a fucking vampire royal blood manage to escape. Whatever this thing is, stop it right now. This is where Issei appears right in front of one of the soldiers. What did you call her? This is where Issei, one of his eyes is purple. His hair is also purplish color. And of course, his eyes are showing this murderous look. This is where, well, the soldier widens his eyes before he gets his head literally decapitated. This is where the others widen their eyes and sees Issei. That's where Issei said, you bastards are quite annoying. If she heard you kind of say like her name in disrespect, then I should kill you. I'm not letting any of you bastards leave. Issei has his murderous cold tone. This is where all of them widen their eyes, but all of them started firing at Issei. Say, die! This is where, well, Issei says, me? Die? You're quite pathetic. This is where their magic attacks literally got notified in an instant. This is where, well, Issei appears right in front of all of them. And swing his sword once, mostly in front of him. Right now it's destroying multiple vampires, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei easily slaughtered the vampires with Beru, but yeah. And also darkness soldiers appear to easily kill them, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei easily killed them all, and of course he was stained with their blood, but of course he didn't care. This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, they're quite pathetic now that I think about it. This is where, well, Issei then stops igniting his sword, and of course decides to put the sword back. But before putting it back, someone literally tries to attack him, but this is where he caught the sword. This is where, well, the person scoffs and says, damn, I thought I was easily being able to cut your head. This is where, well, he noticed the person is another vampire, but it's a female vampire this time. It seems to be another vampire, but she seems to have like these vampire wings on top of her head. Of course, she does have pointy ears. Mostly she would have vampire, what's it called, wings. But of course, well, she's wearing a kind of suit, or mostly this clothing that shows a little bit of her cleavage. But of course, well, she has black hair, red eyes. This is where, well, she seems to have some eyelashes probably in her face, but yeah, or color of her kind of eyes, but whatever. This is where, well, she's kind of glaring at Issei for even trying to kill, what's it called, or mostly killing her man. This is where Issei says, sheesh, I shouldn't kill you. You seem to be someone that probably Allison doesn't like. This is where the person says, so you know about Allison. Why did you free her? This is where, well, Issei smiles and says, why? Do I have to have a reason and why I free her? This is where the person grits their teeth and right now jumps away and says, die, you demonic bastard. This is where, well, she sent an attack and this is where it hit Issei directly. But Issei just slaps the, what's it called, smoke away, and Issei says, he just scoffs and says, you're quite pathetic. That was nothing to me. And it will be absolutely nothing towards Allison, because you're quite pathetic. This is where Issei appears right in front of her, sending a powerful kick into her stomach, launching her straight to trees and trees and trees. This is where Issei scoffs and says, just know this, you're not as powerful as you think against her. She's much more powerful than such a pathetic weakling. You dare to be killed, well, mostly to seal her away. She was someone supposed to be free, but you sealed her away. You guys are quite pathetic. Couldn't even fight her. You just had to seal her. Meh. Whatever. This is where, well, the person didn't get up any damn time. Issei thinks that he accidentally killed her, but he didn't care. Better when the others come back. This is where they all came back, and this is where Issei right now makes himself a darkness portal to get to the darkness dimension, but yeah. When he gets there, he gets into his room, and of course, where, well, it seems like there's 4 people literally talking at a desk, mostly near a window. And of course, where, well, he says, damn, I feel tired. Well, should probably be going to, where do you think you're going? This is where some people said. This is where Issei turns around, and this is where, well, he didn't really sense it because, well, he was actually too damn tired. And this is where Issei sweats and sees Junko, Rainer, and of course Celestia, and also, well, Allison right now staring at him with such angry looks. This is where Junko's palish blue eyes are just looking at him with such a very angry look. Rainer's kind of violet eyes, Allison reddish eyes, and even what's it called, Celestia's kind of bluish eyes are just glaring at him. Of course, it's icy blue, but don't worry about it. That's where, well, you see Coke sensation. Oh, shit, I gotta still travel. Now that I think about it, yeah, I'm gonna go travel the whole. This is where they say, no, you don't. This is where they try to tackle him and grab him. And Issei says, nope. This is where he teleports, his sword drops. He doesn't even know where he accidentally teleported to. This is where he says, where the fuck am I? This place is quite interesting. Oh, wait, this is Kyo. I just teleported to Kyo. That's quite interesting. Too bad I can't see what's it called. This is where, well, her name is Kuna, and of course, where, well, he says, too bad I can't see her. If she sees me, and Yokai have already been notified by the devils, then Kuna might be in trouble. So I can't really go see her. Shit. Whatever. I'll be around here maybe just walking around. This is where, well, Issei is literally walking around. He kind of appears next to some of the temples just to see it off, just because how amazing this place is. This is where, well, he kind of overhears about some old man right now talking about, well, not an older man, mostly some of these young yokais that seems not to be, well, what's it called? That seem not to be kind of doing their job. Mostly they're talking. Of course, an older looking yokai and a younger looking yokai. That's where they're talking about this yokai that seems pretty demonic. And of course, she is a Nine-Tails. And she's right now being held up at like a prison near the mountains. But of course, where they're really talking about this because they're talking about how her execution would be during the time, what's it called? Mostly a bunch of goddesses and even gods. Mostly Japan being kind of at Yakuza's kind of party and other things in this world. Well, Issei is hearing about this and Issei says, quite interesting. Maybe I should really, a demonic fox female. Oh, this is where Drake says, ooh, another person going into your harem? What is that, 5 women already? Damn, Issei, you need to calm down. Because if you keep going on, then you know these women are going to kill you if they keep finding out that you're trying to build a harem. Issei says, no, not that, you idiot. They only record those two, Celestia and even what's it called, Allison asked for, what's it called, their murder of their clans. I know they're powerful, but right now, during that fight, they weren't as powerful. And besides, I notified their magic quite instantly, so that's why I teleport them. This demonic fox girl could be helpful for me in destroying the demon world. Besides, she's demonic, shouldn't she? She should be hating the demons. This is where Drake says, no, I don't think that's what it means. Whatever, dude. Let me just go find her. If she doesn't join, then I'll literally let her go. I thought you were going to say you were going to ravage her. I am not that kind of person, Drake. Fuck off. Drake says, oh, come on. You know you want to do it to any girl. You are kind of the horn. This is where, well, Drake finds out that he's disconnected and hates Issei for doing that. This is where, well, Issei kind of appear right next to the 2 yokais. And of course, they haven't even noticed Issei. And they keep talking. This is where, well, he found the location and where this person would be at. And of course, heard about this kind of relic. This is where this relic that allows to teleport towards anywhere. This is where, well, he kind of thinks it's quite useful. And the relic is actually going to be with what's it called, Yakuza. He doesn't know if maybe the person might request it, but he doesn't care. He then appears right next to the yokais, the two of them, and this is where before they can even realize what the hell is happening, they both get knocked out in an instant. Issei knows that was kind of not necessary, but for some reason he felt like doing it, but whatever. This is where, well, it's just mostly his darkness side and how he's cruel half the time, but yeah. That's where, well, Issei disappears in an instant. Right now making these darkness swings and right now appearing, well, towards the place that he needs to go. But yeah. He landed near a forest with bamboos. This is where, well, he switch off and realized that he doesn't actually know where the hell exactly it is. He never did went to this place, so yeah. This is where, well, something actually appeared in front of him. It was actually a panda. And this is where the panda seems to be growling at Issei. And this is where, well, Issei said, right, I feel do I remember something? Pandas are kind of aggressive if you're in their territory. This is where, well, Issei swung his hand once towards one of the sticks of bamboo right in front of him. He didn't know how much energy he put, but this is where he cut a lot of bamboo down. And of course, they fell down. And of course, this is where, well, the panda widens eyes and kind of goes through the bamboo in an instant. Issei sweats off, but of course, he chuckles, seeing how mostly the panda's eating all the bamboo. This is where, well, Issei is chuckling at the panda, and this is where, well, something appears mostly on top of Issei. A red panda. Mostly a red panda is kind of like a raccoon, but this is where, well, Issei says, oh, a red panda. He's so cute. This is where Issei wanted to grab him, but this is where the red panda jumps away. This is where Issei says, no, come back here. I want to hug you. This is where, well, Drake is seeing this in Switch Art, but yeah. He does remember that Issei kind of likes cute things, so yeah. This is where, well, Issei kind of thinks about something, and this is where, well, he then goes off to get something real fast, mostly like fish. This is where he managed to catch some fish using his darkness spears, and this is where, well, he then says, maybe I can lure him. Yes, I can lure him. This is where, well, he then kind of makes the, what's it called, black, mostly spears become into fishing rod, and this is where, well, he kind of sets his trap. This is where, well, I don't remember if red pandas like fish, so I'm gonna just say they do, maybe. But this is where, well, a red panda noticed the fish, and this is where, well, it's the same red panda because its fur is kind of a little bit more red than orange. But yeah, this is where, well, he noticed the fish and was about to come get it until he noticed the fish is moving away, which he's slowly kind of wondering why the fish is moving away. And when he noticed what was happening, it was too late. Issei grabbed him and says, gotcha. This is where Issei gives him the fish anyway and says, you're so cute. This is where, well, Issei is really wanting to hug this panda. This is where the panda kind of looks at him. And of course, eats the fish before being squeezed to death. Before it's his last meal because he's thinking he might die. And this is where, well, Issei feels the fur. He says, wow, it's also kind of spiky. But not the point. Hey, red panda. This is where the red panda noticed Issei. And Issei says, do you know... I don't even think he will even understand me, but I try my best. Do you know where this is at? Mostly, he's talking about the place. The red panda nodded. And this is where, well, the red panda kind of jumps, well, mostly gets out of Issei's grasp because Issei doesn't let him go. And this is where the red panda kind of shakes his tail to tell Issei to kind of follow him. But yeah, Issei says, sweet. So, of course, he follows the red panda for a while until they get towards the location. This is where Issei throws the fish that he still has in his hand towards the red panda. And of course the red panda thinks it, well, he grabs it and kind of jumps away. He says, that's quite an interesting red panda. Didn't know that red panda can even understand me. He kind of looks towards mostly the giant stairs. The giant stone kind of mossy stairs. And then when he starts walking up it, but yeah, this is where we go into the red panda. The red panda right now transforms to be a female. This is where she's kind of blushing a little bit red. Of course, never seen such a handsome human. And of course, how he has dark brown hairs and dark brown eyes, like if he's seen so much shit before. But of course, well, he kind of has such a nice smell. And the fact that he actually managed to trick her with a fish. Now, of course, she should have thought that this was that fish, which should have been a trap. But she still fell for it. And of course, a quick movement that he he could have actually grabbed her in the beginning, but instead decided to trap her with the fish, which she feels dumbfounded. But yeah, this is where, well, she then thinks maybe she can have the human by herself, maybe. But this is where, well, she then thinks about something and realizes something. The thing that he mentioned, where the prince, there's a prison up there. And she remembers seeing it one time, and this is where, well, she said, oh, the demonic fox! Why, I don't think she's such a bad person. But the other yokais, they might try to kill him. This is where, well, she switched off and realized it might be a terrible idea. But of course, she's thinking of might helping the human. And might betray, maybe the other yokais, they might think that she's a traitor. She sighs, and this is where, well, she was about to go help the human. Until something appeared next to her. Mostly, what's it called? This kind of like white and black striped kind of animal appears right in front of her. Of course, it's none other than a white tiger, and of course, where the white tiger kind of looks at the red panda, well, mostly known as a tanuki, and says, Tanuki, what are you doing here? Or that's mostly the animal's name, but of course, the red panda kind of sighs and says, nothing. Let's just go. This is where, well, they disappear, but yeah. This is where we go into Issei right now getting up. This is where there's multiple yokais and they notice a human and they tell the human to halt and state in why it's here. Actually, how the hell did they even get here? Issei said, "Oh, I'm just here for some business. Now get out of my way." Issei right now uses this new darkness magic. Mostly it's this energy force, a visible force, to knock them all out. Yes, it's Conquer Soccer, but don't worry about it. But yeah. But of course, well, with Issei managing to knock them out, he breaks down to the gate, mostly the two stone hinges doors, mostly the two slabs, and of course he sees multiple yokais. This is where they rush at Issei, but Issei literally just knocked them out by using more of something called Conqueror's Darkness Hawking, which just knocked them out all in an instant. But yeah, that's where, well, he keeps walking around until he hears kind of like this whipping, and of course someone kind of trying to scream but they're gagged. But of course, when he gets there, he sees an older looking man with this grayish hair having a whip and trying to hit this, well, it seems to be nine-tailed fox demon girl. Probably the same description that he kind of remembers. This is where, well, he hates this kind of sight, and of course, this is where he appears behind the older man, and right now kind of kicks him in the head pretty hard, smashing him to the wall in an instant. And of course, the kind of female fox seems to already pass out. This is where, well, he takes out kind of these like metal nails that have some seals on what they call the demon fox girl's kind of tails, which when he takes them out, it seems the tails react fast enough and try to stab him, which it never did actually hit him thanks to the fact that he nullified the magic with the tails, so they wouldn't actually stab him. But yeah, this is where, well, he kind of, well, freed this person, and of course where this person seems to be crying some blood tears. And of course, when he takes off the blindfold and of course takes out the gag and other stuff, she also seems to have some bruises, which kind of made Issei really disgusted. But of course, well, Issei had to wait until she woke up. So this is where Issei said, "Come out." This is where, well, he kind of said a darkness, well, creature's name, and of course, this is where, well, a shadow, well, mostly the darkness soldier called Tusk appears. Right now healing, well, the kind of, well, not werewolf, mostly fox girl, but yeah, or the nine-tailed demonic fox girl. That's where Tusk nodded and of course healed her in an instant, but yeah, or mostly using this darkness flames. Yes, he has the Phoenix flames with him, but yeah. This is where, well, it's healing the kind of fox girl, and Issei is just waiting until she wakes up consciously, but yeah. But for right now, I'm going to end it off here, and, well, go on with life. But other than that, bye. See ya. But yeah, I'm still sick, and bye.